Suffolk County Police, may I help you?
Everybody's dead.
What do you think I did?
The guy come running into the bar and said that mother and father are shot.
I've been to a lot of crime scenes. I've never seen anything like it.
It's good to have you back, you horror-hungry humans.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Hello, guys. What's up? How are you? This is Ralph Perez from Horror and Coffee. One technical thing I had to do here real quick. Okay, it's done. And welcome to another live edition of Horror Files. Horror Files. Wait. Got the files right here. These are the files. Okay, I got them. And what we do in this particular live stream is that we go over particular subjects or areas or even specific movies. And today is a special one. Okay. And this is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. How it compares to the original 1951 classic, The Thing from Another World, and its subsequent prequel, The Thing from 2011. I want to talk about all three, but mainly the 1982 John Carpenter classic, because he made it his own. And it was an incredible landmark movie for its time in the early 80s, mainly because of the effects. The special effects were off the hook. They were amazing. They were amazing. Now, I'm not going to be alone in this. I'm going to definitely be having people joining, but my particular special co-host for this live stream is Tony Movie Chap, and he's about to join me in a few minutes. He just let me know that he's almost on, and I'm going to put the link again because I put it up a little while ago. Is he here already? Oh, he's here. Okay, great. Let me bring him in. All right. Wait, I don't see a face. I don't see it. Let me know if you see a face, guys. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Hey, guys.
Okay, Tony?
Yeah, no, my camera's off right now. I just had to get something really quick.
Okay, cool.
No, I'll be right on. I just gotta get
Sure,
something.
no worries. So, for those of you who are the first, hey, Stephanie, how are you? Stephanie from I'll Buy the Popcorn is here, hailing all the way from Texas. And I'm sure more people will start, coming in bit by bit. But before we get into, let me take care of some housekeeping items. If this is your first time here on Horror and Coffee, please tap on the bell for future notifications and consider subscribing to the channel. Horror and Coffee has been around for a while, but we press forward. We keep presenting the best we can in our opinions and thoughts on horror and coffee. I have my coffee right here. Yep, light and sweet, man. I have it light and sweet. Okay, I got, who else we got here? Exorcist Reviews. Baron Vaughn is here. Awesome. Thank you, Baron Vaughn, for joining. You guys got to check out his channel. It's all about the Exorcist. It's all about, that whole franchise and how, and he really breaks it down really good there. So, and oh yeah, there's another thing. And this is the first time I'm presenting this. All right. Horror and Coffee finally has a Patreon. We finally have a Patreon. I kind of held back a little bit for a long time in starting one. And wait a minute, here is that right there is my girlfriend, my beautiful queen. Hello, my lovely, and she is here. As a matter of fact, now that I'm bringing up Patreon, she was kind of the one to help me just get it started, get it going. You know, she kind of influenced me. She kind of like pushed me along to, come on, you could do this, you know, and she's right. I can, right? So I started this Patreon, and there's only one, you know, if anybody doesn't know what Patreon is, it's basically a page where if you join it, you give a donation. It's usually $5 a month, which is like a, you know, a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks coffee price for 1 month. And for that, you get extra cool stuff, extra features, special, you know, emails and things like that. She's like, yes, you can. That's right, I can, and I'm very excited about that. And what else? You know, and other things, discounts. As a matter of fact, here's something. You see this coffee cup? I just ordered a handful of these, and I'm gonna sell them here on Horror and Coffee for $15. But if you become a Patreon, you'll get it for 12. All right, take off the shipping or tax or whatever, and you get your official Horror and Coffee mug where you can have your coffee while you're watching your favorite horror movie. Awesome horror movie. Tony, you still there? Tony's not there yet. Okay. So listen, I'm very excited to talk about this movie. This is one of my favorite movies. Okay. In fact, I have my Ultra HD 4K copy. There's Tony right there. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. Look, Tony, I got the 4K, my 4K and my Blu-ray of John Carpenter's The Thing. I have both copies.
Yeah, I know.
right?
I have mine too. I'll show my off in a little bit.
Yeah, like for me, I had you know, I bought the 2011 thing, but I can't find my copy.
You know, I have it right here. I have the steel book of it right here.
That's the 2011 one?
Yeah.
Dang, I don't know what happened to my copy. I know I have the digital, you know, code and everything, and I put it in my digital library, but I don't know what happened to my copy. It's crazy. So Tony, since you are my special guest on this, I want to ask you, what drove you to want to request? Tony requested this topic, and it's a great topic. Why did you want to like do this particular topic on The Thing?
Because The Thing is a really interesting film itself. Because at the time when it first came out, back in I believe it was
82.
Yeah, okay, yeah, 1982, when you had films like Poltergeist or like Blade Runner, or even like E.T. came out. Like, but out of all of those four movies, this one wasn't really well received at the time, and it was kind of universally hated at the time from a lot of critics that did not like the film and just told John Carpenter like, oh, like you need to stop making movies, and like, just a one hit wonder. Like they said all this like really nasty things, and then now, what's interesting about now, in like years later, especially on like the whole media of like Blockbuster and like and DVD, I think a lot of people now, like, they discovered it and they started to realize, like, hey, this is actually a really good movie right here. This is actually
it is.
This is something else. Like, what were we smoking at the time? Like, this is great. Like, what's going on here? Now it's considered like what was once, and it's kind of crazy now to think about this. What was once one of the most hated movies at the time, especially from critics, like it kind of has that redemption story, kind of like another film that we'll mention. But like it is interesting to see like what was once one of the most hated films, and now it's kind of like it's a beloved now. It's like a cult classic now. It's now
You know what it is about The Thing. And this seems to be periodic of John Carpenter films, right? When John Carpenter puts out a movie, it doesn't fall well initially, and then all of a sudden, over time, it creates a cult following. It grows in popularity. It's not a quick like, oh my god, this is amazing. It just happens slowly. That's what happens, and that's what happened with the thing.
Well, and also it's also a lot of people don't often forget this. Like it's often like it's a remake actually.
Look who's here,
Hey,
Nate.
Hey Nate, how's it going?
You were on
Well,
their show last week, right?
what?
You were on Geeks and Flicks last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, we did the scary movie ranking.
Scary movie rankings, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's good to know. So, what's again, there's many, and I have a list of things here that we're going to cover, but I want to actually start with a picture. I want to show a picture, and this picture was taken sometime last week. And this picture is a picture of John Carpenter himself because he just got a star.
Yeah,
on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and here it is, right here. And look who's with him. Look who's with him. You got Nick, the guy
Russell.
from you got Kurt Russell, right? And you got Childs himself, Keith David.
Yeah.
Right? So 2 stars from The Thing right there with him. And Nick the Totaro, or I don't know how to say his name right. You know who that is. He's the guy who did a lot of the Walking Dead production.
I don't know who he is.
Oh yeah, he's the one who did the Walking Dead, and he was involved in, I think, Night of the Living, Dawn of the Dead, I think, if I'm correct. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that picture of him because John Carpenter, I mean, love him or hate him, some people think he's a jerk, some people think he's nice. But at the end of
kind of either way, like sometimes he's in a good mood, or sometimes he's not in a good mood. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So
I love him. Like he's one of my favorite directors out there.
He's a legend.
He's a top 4 for me, like all-time directors. Like I love a lot of John Carpenter films. Like not just The Thing, but like I love like Escape from New York, like not like Halloween 2, and like what's another one?
Actually, Halloween 2 was directed by Rick
Halloween,
Rosenthal.
the first one. The first Halloween.
The first one. Yeah. But he produced it and wrote it.
Yeah.
With Deborah Hill.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Hey, I like Halloween 2.
Hey, it's okay.
I also like
watching.
I put it in the files. That's how good it is. I put it in the damn files. I love Halloween 2. But he all these movies. We should do a live stream one day, sometime soon, on just his career, all the movies he made.
Yeah.
Like rank them. Let's do a ranking of old John Carpenter movies. But so the idea is that we got that going on. Like I said earlier, I started a Patreon page. So whoever is interested in becoming a Patreon, please by all means join us. I'm also putting on while we talk about the movie, I'm gonna post a link again so that you guys who are watching can join Tony and myself, so we can make the conversation more, whatever, right? So I'm gonna put the link right now. Ba-boom, ba-boom. All right. So whoever's on the chat right now, feel free to join us. Now, let's talk about The Thing. The original The Thing, or like my friend Carlito likes to call it in Spanish, La Cosa.
Well, I was also going to bring this up before we start, before we started talking about like The Thing is actually it's actually a remake of an old movie. I believe it's a 50s or a 60s movie. I don't remember. It's called The Thing from Never World.
Yep, that's exactly right. In fact, you're talking about this. Hold up. How you doing, Neil? Hold on. I'm trying to put it, but you know what it is? Okay, now I got it. There you go. The Thing from Another World, 1951.
Yeah.
It came out in 1951. And it was, 1951. It was 1951.
I mean, I saw it last year though because like I haven't seen the original thing, and since I've seen the other two movies, I definitely would. I thought about giving it one a shot, and when I thought about it, it was okay. Like it was
You
just
didn't like it too much.
no, like there was a lot of things about it that didn't really hold up, and
There was
plus
a lot of things about the Thing.
the thing from another world that just didn't really hold
Yeah.
up, and like especially like the creature is just kind of like a Frankenstein knockoff.
Yeah,
But
he
that's
looks like Frankenstein in a way, right?
yeah,
But look at this picture. He's got like nails coming out of out of the other
yeah.
side of his fingers. I think that was their attempt to try to. Well, I didn't see this movie.
Oh, you did?
Admittingly, I haven't seen it yet. So let me
Oh,
ask you, Tony, since you've seen it, is the same premise there that it's a alien that takes on the form of other life forms and replicates it? Is that what this is too?
no, no. In this movie, it's just one creature out there, and like a group. It's kind of like the same plan. Like a group of scientists, they're there, they discover it, and then it breaks out, and then it starts attacking like one by one, and it doesn't like attach itself to anybody else other than the creature. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like it's more like a monster. I don't know.
Okay. Like a Martian, right? I mean, it was the early
Yeah,
50s, so it was that time of, alien space movies. Most
yeah.
aliens have big heads. He had a big head.
It's
So,
okay. It's just I just don't think it's that good.
well, I, you have to give credit where credit is due, though. I mean, I grew up watching Frankenstein, the Wolfman,
Yeah,
Dracula,
Frankenstein I do like. I do
Mummy.
like the original Frankenstein and Wolfman and
Yeah.
Creature of the Black Lagoons. Like those are good, but
Creature
some
from the Black Lagoon.
Mhm.
The Thing was thrown in there. It was thrown into that lot in my experience of having, been exposed to it on TV and stuff like that. Oh, they're gonna show The Thing. I'm like, okay. And here's something funny. If for trivia's sake, if you watch John Carpenter's Halloween, the first Halloween, what are they watching on the little television sets
Mhm.
while Michael Myers is outside waiting to get hit for his next kill? They're watching The Thing.
Yeah. Thing
They
from
were
Another
watching
World.
The Thing.
I've heard about that. And I've seen it before. I did,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that until like a couple of years ago. But yeah, no, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I
It's
feel like
it's
John
pretty awesome.
Carpenter though was kind of hesitant to take on this movie at first when Universal offered it to him that to say if he was interested in doing a remake of The Thing because I think The Thing from Another World was like one of his favorite movies growing up, and that was he was kind of hesitant at first, but then once he read the original source material, the book of like who goes there, then he kind of like got the idea in his head, like, hey, like maybe we could do something like this. We could do something new with this, and why instead of like doing it the same thing again, let's do something different and let's actually make a more faithful adaptation to the um I don't remember the author's name, but like the book, like who goes there. And that was where he kind of got the idea, and that's why he hired like Bill what's the guy's name? Bill Lassender to
Okay.
like write the script, and like that's how it all started developing, you know? So that's
But for it to turn to something like this,
mhm.
first in 1951, it's something like this, right?
Yeah.
And then it becomes something like this. That's the 1982 thing right there. Now, how does this work? This is how it works. This alien spaceship, you see it in the very beginning of the movie. By the way, this whole thing is going to be chocked with spoilers. So sorry,
Yeah.
we're talking straight through it. You see in the very beginning of the movie a spaceship going to Earth, crashing into Earth, and then the titles come up, right? Ellie Valley is here. Thank you, Ellie, for being here, and my horror pal gal, the Goth Freaking Vegan, is here. Great to see you all. I'm glad to see you two have joined us. We're talking about John Carpenter's The Thing. And, you know, like the whole premise of it is that this thing, like 100,000 years ago, crashes to Earth. And then there is this this science station posted in Antarctica, right? And these guys, it's a group of men. There are no women in this movie. There are no women at all in this movie. But these men are there, to do scientific research or whatever reasons they're there for. And on one day, out of nowhere, there's a helicopter, and this helicopter is chasing this dog, and they're trying to kill the dog. They're shooting it with a rifle, and they don't get to it. They thought the guys were crazy. One died from a grenade explosion. The other ended up getting shot because they thought he was nuts and he was going to pose a danger to everybody else.
He didn't speak English.
He was speaking Norwegian.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand because they came from another science station, a Norwegian one, from away somewhere else on the other side. And they brought the dog in, but little did they know was that the dog was the thing. It was the thing. And I think I mean I didn't go see this in the movie theater, but I had a feeling that not a lot of people, when they were in the theater, probably even understood and knew that that's what was going on.
Well, also and it's a brilliant way to open the film. Like you open the film with this like helicopter flying around, and you see the other guy like he's like shooting at the dog, trying to get a shot at the dog, and you have the viewer at the time. Oh, like even when you first watch it, you just like, wait, why is this guy shooting at the dog? Like, what's the deal here? And
Right.
then like, the dog gets to the other camp, and then the guy's speaking Norwegian, but you don't understand what he's saying. And he's doing his best to like try to like get this dog or like kill him, but then before he does, like the sheriff do like shoots him in the head, and then he dies.
Right.
You
And
just think,
then but then they bring the dog in. Eventually they put the dog in the kennel. One of them is very attached to dogs. He loves his dogs, right? He takes care of all the dogs.
also,
And he puts it in the kennel, and that's when it decides to reveal itself and start simulating the other dogs. What this alien life form does is it grabs other other organisms, other animals or things, whatever it is, and replicates it. It absorbs it in a horrifying way, mind you, and then it copies it. It makes a copy of itself, of whatever it is that attacks, and then to the point that you don't know it's some alien life form. You think it's the original creature or animal that it was, or human that it was, and that created a lot of, what you call it, a lot of tension and distrust. Look, these guys here are like, well, who are you? And the other guy's like, I don't know. Are you right? And I'm like, are you right? Right? Because what eventually it started, it started getting to humans. Who do you think was the first one? Because I think the first one, there was this scene. I wish I could play clips of it, but copyright and all that nonsense. They'll end up shutting this down. There's a scene where the dog is still wandering around the camp, and you see him go into a room, but you see the shadow of in the room. You see a shadow of one of the guys, but you don't know who it is.
Well, I think it was the guy in the beard who was kind of bald a little bit, the one who had like the thing hand when he was like in the snow before they burned him up. I think that one.
I don't know I don't think that was him. You know why? Because remember the scene where they put it in after the dog incident, and they brought it into the lab, and they had the small guy with the glasses, the doctor, examine it. They were putting it away somewhere, and that guy that you're talking about was with one of the other guys. I wish I had their names, all right, but there's there's quite a few of them, and that's when the thing attacked them. You don't remember? And that's when he went running out.
Yeah.
And so no, he wasn't the first one because they burned him immediately. He didn't even get a chance to completely transform. I think it was I really think it was somebody else. And you know who I think it was, in my opinion? Remember the guy that looked like he was having a heart attack, and then they tried to like revive him with the doctor tried to revive him with the electric thing, clear, and then his whole chest turned into a mouth and it bit his arms off. That guy.
Yeah.
This guy. The one that became that. I think he was the first one to get infected.
I mean, that's a good
for
theory.
real.
That's
You
a good
know,
theory.
I think so because the way the shadow looked, it kind of the way the hair and the shadow and everything, it kind of like made me think it was him. But the thing, and the name of the guy who did the effects was a guy named
Wobble
Dean Cundley.
Oh, you mean the
Candley.
cinematographer?
Huh?
Yeah, are you talking about the cinematographer?
No, I'm talking about the special effects. The guy who was able to make all this stuff happen. Cinematographer, it does just basic filming of everything, shots and angles and.
Well, there was one thing. There was one thing I've read a while back that the cinematographer Dean Cundey
Well, that's the special effects guy. Maybe he did both. I don't know.
No, but he didn't do the special effects. He did the cinematographer, but hear me on this. He did this little trick that you can kind of tell who's the thing or not because when you see when someone's the thing a little bit, you can see in their eyes it's a little bit dark, but when someone's not the thing, it's a little bit more lighter. So you can kind of tell who's the thing and who's not the thing, and that was kind of a trick that the cinematographer Dean Cundey did, and you can definitely.
It's interesting because two things about that. One, I have to, when I researched it, I saw that he did the special effects as well. That's one. Two. I never saw what you're talking about, like this thing about the eyes. So the next time I watch it, I'll keep that in mind. But I
saw that in an ending explain video, and someone brought that up in an interview that Dean Cundey did. So yeah, that's what made me think about that a little bit.
Okay, all right. I never heard of that. Hold up. Exorcist Baron Vaughn from Exorcist Review says, wasn't it one of the film crew members that sat in for the shadow to keep the audience guessing? I think so. I think I read that somewhere, right, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
Did Ro Botno work with or under Dick Smith? Who's Dick Smith?
I don't know who that is.
Who's Dick Smith, Baron Vaughn? I'm not sure who that is. So please, I'll put the link in if anybody else wants to join in the chat again. Let me see. Where's the invite? Here it is.
Well,
go ahead, please, Tony. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say what makes the thing, especially now, so iconic that people talk about to this day is really the practical effects. I mean, the practical effects.
It was the first of its kind.
Yeah, not only ahead of its time, but just they hold up to this day. You look at some of these creature transforming effects and some of the effects that they did on it, especially Wabo Team, since he was only 23 years old, and he would have spent hours to making these special effects look as good as they are. And then when you just see it, it's my God. I mean, some of it is terrifying. It's definitely really disgusting. Have this really disturbing feel to it when you see some of the people transforming, especially the dog or
No. Remember when they had them all tied up and Carrasco was testing their blood?
Yeah.
And then one of them, the blood went like that, and then that guy started transforming in front of everybody, and they were all tied and they couldn't get away from him.
Yeah.
That was insane. That was nuts. That was my favorite. Honestly, next to the dog kettle scene, that was my other favorite scene of
That's
that
the
movie.
most iconic scene is the blood test.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you about this movie though. I wasn't too crazy. I mean, I love the movie straight up. I'm not saying I don't like it, but the end, how it ended, felt to me a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, I get that. I mean,
David from my old block, from 170th Street. How you doing, David? God bless you. I hope all things are going well. Awesome. Wait, who's this? Ralphie, what's up? The whole 170 crew. Tito. Oh my God. I got these. Listen, guys, you got to understand. Tito and David were on the chat. I grew up with these guys. They were little, very little kids when I was a kid too, but they were even smaller. Okay.
Yeah.
And they used to live in the apartment right across from my grandmother's. So every day, every morning, I would hear them screaming out the window, whatever, like yelling up at, because they had, we had other friends living in the building. So everybody would always be talking to everybody. Everybody be talking. Anthony's watching. Oh my God, Anthony, God bless you, Anthony. I haven't seen you in like forever. Most of them live in Florida now, but we all grew up together in the Bronx, here in the Bronx, and it was great watching all of them grow up. And these guys here, David, Tito, and Anthony, honestly, they've grown up to be fine, good young men, and they've made their lives and forget about it. David always be going to horror conventions. I always see his posts on the horror conventions, and here comes somebody to join us, and it's my man, Mr. Frank Torres.
Hey.
Darth Torres.
Hey, people.
How you doing? Frank,
right.
Frank, talk to me. Talk to me.
Ralph, you don't know who Dick Smith is?
You know what? As much as I try to do my research and all that, some things fall through the cracks. So please enlighten me.
Makeup artist who did The Exorcist?
The original one?
Yes.
Okay.
What other Exorcist is there? We don't count those.
Well, there's Exorcist.
Except the third.
There's Exorcist.
The third, yes.
There's a lot of Exorcists. There's the God forbid Exorcist believer. Nobody.
We don't count the other ones.
We don't want to talk about that.
1 and 3. 1
The
and 3.
that we talk about is Exorcist 1 and Exorcist 3.
Yes.
Those are the only two that hold weight. Yeah. Particularly, Exorcist 3 not as much weight, but it holds its own. As having gained a cult following. But anyway, that's not what this is about.
But okay,
we're not talking about Exorcist. We're talking about The Thing. But okay, so his name was
President Trump.
What?
The Thing, President Trump.
Oh, yeah. He's a thing, all right. he's a thing. I'm gonna put him in the files.
I just woke up, so if I look,
No, it's okay, Frank. You always look like that. It's fine.
I know.
I'm just in my apartment right now.
Whatever.
No, it's good. But so I'm glad, I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad that again, Anthony, Tito, David, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. So like I was saying, the ending of The Thing. Well, what are your thoughts on The Thing? Tell me.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I love it. I love that movie. The prequel was good too.
I'm gonna get to that in a bit.
But yeah.
Tell me when did you first see it, and what were your first thoughts about it?
I first saw The Thing on Betamax. I remember this.
God, you said Betamax.
Damn.
Ah!
Shut up, you.
She said Betamax. It was one of those tapes.
There's
There's a pack of cards. It was like this. Let's put it in before VHS.
1986, I believe.
Wow. 1986. It came out in 82. So you saw it a few years later.
Yeah, and then
okay.
Child, I'm 46.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Then in 88, I saw it on Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Yeah.
You're talking about those big ass discs. Wow.
Yeah, the little gold disc. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Holy God Almighty!
But the movie was the story. the effects, practical effects, man. It still holds up to me.
It holds up. It holds up to this day, and it was all practical. There was no CGI at the time.
No.
Right?
No.
And I could still watch that movie and love it. I can. That's one of those movies I can watch over and over again throughout the years.
I own it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get my copy soon.
Oh, yeah, Carpenter just got his star in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. I put the picture up. Look.
Oh, I see.
He's there with Kurt Russell and Keith David.
One person there missing who should have been there.
Which one?
Who started her career with this man?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, exactly.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Why wasn't she there?
Because she's promoting her new sequel, Freaky Friday. That's stupid shit. But you couldn't take your time to honor the man who put you to the top.
Yeah,
he opened up doors for her.
Yes, he
did. He did. He really did. Well, when you're busy, I guess you can't always.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Freaky Friday. I mean, who's gonna see? Who wants to see that shit?
I have no idea. I don't want to see it. I'm not in the mood to see it.
I don't care for it, but probably some people will.
What's it? I don't even know what it's about. Is it a comedy? Is it a horror? What is it?
Oh, it's like that movie. You ever see that whole movie on Freaky with Vince Vaughn?
Yes.
It's basically that movie, but it's more of a comedy instead of a comedy horror. It's like a mother and daughter. They switch bodies together.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't that come out a long time ago?
But this is a sequel.
Oh, it's a sequel.
Yes.
Oh.
Freakier Friday, some shit.
He's so bad. I really appreciate his brutal honesty, man. It's a good thing. So, all right. So, this is the part that this is kind of what grabbed me the most about the thing. Right? And this happened in the prequel too, which I'll get to. Paranoia.
Yeah.
Nobody trusted each other.
Yeah.
Nobody trusted each other. Look at them. Look at them. They're all messed up. Right? Look at this. Look at the scene. I think this is the shot where Kurt Russell's character shot this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And they're all looking at him like, oh, snap.
And the one that was most paranoid is the Quaker Oats guy.
the doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor. Oh my God, he lost his mind. He was because he did that little computer simulation.
Eat your oatmeal, kids. Go ahead.
Yeah. and he did the Quaker Oats. He did the computer simulation of what the cells of the thing was doing to the cells of
how fast
the dog
affected. Yeah.
And he made a calculation of how long it would take before the entire world population got infected with this thing, which is horrifying if you think about it. Imagine if that got out. It
would be end of the world.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it was. He was trying to make sure nobody ever got out of there. Because you couldn't tell anymore who was what. I mean, sure, they tried to do the blood test. Somebody got rid of the blood. Remember? Somebody drained all the blood out.
Yeah.
Why they had everybody's blood put away, I have no damn idea. What was that for? But that's another question, I guess. But it was so well written and creepy.
And the score. I love John.
The score.
It's absolutely astounding that this got nominated. The score got nominated for a Razzie for worst score at the time.
Worst score?
Yeah. I think it was nominated for worst score at the time for the Razzie. So
well, this movie was a flop when it came out, and then it got
it bombed.
Tony was talking about that. He was talking about how when it first came out, people were like, ugh, I didn't like it. Yeah. And then over time, people are like, you know what? It's not pretty. It's not bad.
It's always like that,
actually. But isn't it like that especially for a John Carpenter movie?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like with John Carpenter movies, it's like he put something out, people don't like it initially, and then another movie like that and it wasn't even, he didn't even direct it, but he had a part in it. Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. Prince of Darkness, another good one. that I love that one. Right? So you got all these and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like later on this year, I'm gonna make a John Carpenter ranking of all his films. Because he goes down in history as one of the greatest in horror.
Yeah.
Right?
Not very friendly in person, though.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that. He tends to be a little. Huh? I don't know. Do you think he was friendlier when he was younger? Maybe.
Life right now, so that's kind of what I feel.
Yeah, one of my favorites next to Halloween. I mean, God, they're all so good. But The Fog, I love.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
they remade that shit. Please.
Yeah, they remade it. It's funny when I first saw it, I appreciated it, but then over time, I said, you know what? I might have appreciated it, but I never want to. I don't care to ever see it again. But I could see the original again and again and again.
Superman there, that's not gonna.
I could just keep seeing it.
About it is Maggie Grace, and she eventually went on to have kind of a better career after that. So there's that. So
yeah,
that's the only thing I can say about the Fog remake. But it's
John's fitting movie though. What that Mars one?
Mars Attacks?
No, John Carpenter's Mars something.
Oh, Ghosts of Mars.
Oh, that movie sucked.
Yeah, I went to the theater to see that, and I was like, "What, John? What are you doing? What happened? What happened, John? John, what happened?
Escape from L.A. Garbage."
I actually liked Escape from LA a little bit, not as much as New York, but it was,
I think it's a good follow-up.
I liked how it ended.
That surfing scene, come on, man.
Oh, the surfing scene was kind of corny, though. Yeah, I admit. Yeah, that was kind of good.
Like it's trash, but it kind of has like that B level like schlock value to it. Still, where I kind of like it.
Yeah,
Like,
it didn't have the mood of the New York.
Like a trashy like sci-fi like horror film, but yeah,
exactly.
It's got me riled up now.
Oh, I like it when you get riled up, Frank.
Well, you don't know who Dick Smith is?
Why are you still like harping on me on that? That happened a half an hour ago.
The missus wants to say hi.
Hi. She's like, listen, I'm watching something. I'm watching something else right now. Oh no, she's on her computer.
Yeah, she's typing. Doing something.
She's typing.
What was the last movie he made? John Carpenter.
Which one?
The last movie that he made, was it that one with Amber Heard?
Oh, you mean directed?
Yeah,
The Ward? No, not The Ward. He did something else after that.
Yeah, he did like one last movie.
He's been doing a series of anthology films.
Well, that's a documentary.
No, not documentary. Anthology. Difference.
Oh,
anthology is like Twilight Zone kind of stuff, like different little stories.
Yes,
like Black Mirror or Twilight Zone, something like that.
On Peacock,
right? That's the last thing I heard of that he's been doing. I haven't seen it yet. I've been meaning to, but life,
Another one actually. Did you like Starman?
I really like Starman. I thought Starman was really good.
What's Starman?
You don't remember Starman?
What is that?
With, who was that? Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, yeah.
No,
and this woman, the one who played
Indiana Jones,
from Red as a Lost Ark, this girl,
Carrie Owens, I think.
Yeah, her. Do you remember now, Tony?
I think I've heard of it, but no.
That was pretty interesting. I liked that one. So you have The Thing from Another World, which we were talking about. Here, let me show it to you again. Oh, it doesn't want to.
Have you seen the original, Dave?
Did you see the original Thing from the Other World?
Yes.
And what did you think of that?
For its time.
Tell me, what about for its time? It was good for its time?
Well, he looked like Frankenstein with teeth on his knuckles.
I know. Just what I thought. I mean, for the time, it was probably good, but nowadays,
it scared the hell out of people when that came out back then.
Yeah, I know. I think for the time being, it was scary it was scary for like 1950s, but now it's kind of dated.
That's why Carpenter did it. He said that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Exactly. Here, hold up. I'm gonna do another. I periodically do this. I just want to make sure if anybody else wants to join, there it is. There you go. I put the link there if anybody else wants to join. Baron Vaughn says, my favorite line from The Thing came from Clark. I don't know what the hell is what the excuse me. That's not what it says. It's I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is. There it is.
Probably me in the bathroom.
Ah! That's an excellent quote. What I remember at the very end of the movie, and this quote, I don't know, where were you, childs? after Kurt Russell blew up the thing, and he's all alone, he blew up the whole station's on fire. Question: do you think Childs became the thing?
Here's a theory I have, and for the longest time, I thought it was Childs, but now, like, I heard someone's theory about it. I kind of agree with. I don't think neither one of them was the thing.
So they just sat there and watched each other freeze to death.
Well, they probably just got away, or just
no. They had nowhere to go. They had no means of contact. They were screwed.
Yeah, they probably
basically the fire. Once the fire died out, they would freeze to death. That's the sense I got from the movie's ending. Yeah, that they were going to just sit there and deal with it.
Because I don't think either one of them was the thing, to be honest. I think it was just. I think all of it was gone at that point. So.
Yeah, but again, it felt a little anticlimactic to me. As much as I love the movie, and I do, the ending is my favorite part of the film.
Well, it's kind of quickly done. Like it goes by like really fast. Like it's just like
it goes really fast, right?
Yeah.
Because and then you see the thing come out of the ground, and it's a claymation thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we got claymation going on here. I thought that was different.
Well, I think they originally did do claymation a little bit, and they kind of changed that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that I read that they kind of changed the effects at the last minute, but yeah.
Gumby.
Oh, check it out. Ooh, is this true? Did Adrienne Barbeau do the voice of the computer game? Remember when Kurt Russell was playing chess?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, I asked her.
Wow, that's awesome.
I met her. We met her at what was it, Chiller? I don't remember.
I met her at Monster Mania years ago.
Oh, I had a crush on her, boy.
A lot of people did. They, but
beautiful big eyes.
Moving from that now.
Sure. But we're going. Yo. Okay, so now, and then this came out. Ready? The Thing 2011.
That was good.
You like it?
I got the steelbook right here. I got
It's got the steelbook right there. That is great. And I can't find my copy. I was trying to find it, and I don't know where it went.
That was well done. It explained a lot.
It did. And, okay, so what, for those of you who don't know, what's this one about? It's called The Thing. It's the same title. So a lot of people were misled. A lot of people thought this was a remake.
I'll get into that at the end, why I think this movie failed again.
Okay, let me explain this. Let me break this down. A lot of people thought this was a remake. It wasn't. This was an actual prequel to the 1982 The Thing. As a matter of fact, it takes place in 1982. The events of this film take place in the same. And where does it take place? If you remember in the first Thing, when they were trying to find out where that Norwegian helicopter came from, they went in their own helicopter, Kurt Russell, and they flew out to the Norwegian base. And they found it destroyed, like it was on fire. There's a dead person frozen in there. There's a hat. There's an axe on the wall. A lot of, and then we saw the big frozen block where the Thing was frozen inside, and it came out. And did what it did with that group. So this movie, this prequel, is about that group. It's about that Norwegian group. Spearheaded by some English speakers, of course. We had Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who played the Kate. She was a paleontologist, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Right? And she was hired by that guy right there, that smug doctor dude. He was smug. He was a smug jerk, to come and help dig this thing out. And then when it came to life, this is what they found. They found this insectoid creature that looked like God. It looked like a few things. And that's the point of this organism. When it went off like that, it kind of like showed what it had replicated in other planets, in other worlds. But yet this thing is intelligent. It had a ship. They found it in a ship or by a ship. Because 10,000 years ago, the ship crashes into the earth. 100,000 years ago, sorry. It crawled out, it froze in the ice, they dug it up, and then it came out. That's what this movie's about. 2011, The Thing, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Because what happened here? The same kind of situation. Everybody started distrusting each other. Like, who's who? Who's the thing? Who the what? The same pattern. The same pattern. But the thing I loved the most about it was that all the connects it made to the original 1982.
Mm-hmm.
You saw those details, right?
Yeah.
Tony, right, Frank? Like
Look, what I like to bring up is like you saw like a lot of things, like they filled in the holes that like you had in the first movie. Like, how did this guy like get split into like this entire monster, like the two-headed monster?
Yeah.
Then this movie.
Oh man, I wish I had a picture of it. I should have found that one. Because in the original film, they go to the camp and they find that face split in half into two faces. And you look at that like, what was that? And now we know that was Kate's assistant, her colleague from college. That's who that was. You know, and we see how it happened. We see it happen in the 2011 thing. Oh my goodness, that was great. That was great. That was really good. I enjoyed that. and the way it at the very end with the post credit ending, you know, that everything is over already, and another Swedish the guy not Swedish, Norwegian helicopter came, and Lars, the survivor, been hiding all night. He comes out, and the dog comes out because the dog, he knew that dog wasn't a dog anymore. And that's how we see the chase with the helicopter and the dog going to the American scientific base.
What did Carpenter think of it?
That's a good question.
Other than getting a check.
What did you say, Tony?
Well, I don't think he liked it all that much.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said it had a decent premise and a decent idea, but it got overtaken from the CGI.
Well, I disagree. You know why I disagree about it? And I'll disagree with John about that. You know why?
I think the problem was like, well, I think a lot of people hated this film at the time was, I think, because they originally shot this movie. They shot this movie entirely in practical effects, and the effect. What is that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My wire. It's my wire.
And the effects for the creatures were done from the guys that did the Alien Predator movies, Alex Gillis and Tom Woodruff. They did the effects for it. And what had happened was they shot it all practical, and they screened it for the studio or like the test audience. And for some reason, like, I don't know, like the test audience didn't get it, or like something went wrong, and then that's why there was that one complaint that it was too much like an 80s movie, which is kind of stupid because this movie takes place in the 80s.
It takes place in 82. What do you want?
Supposed to embody an 80s movies classic that makes no sense to me, but whatever. But yeah, I like the big complaint. So the studio pretty much freaked out, kind of like an operating in panic mode, and they reshot some scenes of character development to make it a little bit shorter. But the most change they did was they CGI'd on top of the practical effects to make, I don't know, to have more of a digital feel to it. But it's not that the effects are bad, but like I think like the Juliet thing probably looks the best out of the entire bunch. Like that one looks okay, but like there's other bunch to where you see like the spider hand thing, or like other designs like the Sander monster at the end. Like you could tell, like, yeah, like this doesn't really look that good, and like and maybe for the time being, it was okay, but like it has like the I Am Legend feel to it. Well, like I think for the time it was okay, but now you look back at it, it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah,
Especially
somebody
you
got
compare
great.
it to what Wabo Team did. So that's why that's kind of the biggest legacy of this movie is that they just CGI'd on top of the effects. So
I
yeah,
personally think it does hold up still. I can watch that
the
over and
effects.
over again too
Which
without
one, the
getting
CGI?
tired of it. The prequel.
Oh,
2011. I love it. I love it. And notwithstanding the CGI, sure, of course they were going to of course they're going to do CGI, but not all of it was CGI.
No.
And I thought
the
that
only
was
thing
good.
that
Like
was
to
practical was the first monster that they were like that they discovered that killed that one scientist in the beginning.
it was in the first attack
Yeah, the first
when
time
they
we see it
first went after it broke out of the ice when it was
was
under
all,
the house.
and then
Yeah.
and then as the creature jumps out, and like as they're like experiment on it, like they're like dissecting an organism. That all was practical. So everything else after that was pretty much all CGI. So
Mm.
yeah,
Well, that's what I was. That's what I was showing. I was showing that image. That was the image we were talking about. And I can't, for some weird reason, put it up, but I'm not going to kill myself over it. Look, um, to me, that I mean, what I heard and read was that they were doing it practical effects too because they wanted to honor the original 1982
yeah,
because that's how that was made. But of course, Hollywood stepping in with their corporate little effing ties and shit
and
like
that's
that
the
said, no,
ridiculous.
we got to have practical effects. So they said fine, but they were able to do in my opinion, a healthy balance between the two. It didn't look like a video game, regardless. As long as
Yeah,
it didn't look like a video game, I was
they
okay with it.
I
disagree
tell
with
you,
you. Like,
if
you
you
know, I
compare
know.
practical effects, I go with 82, man.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah,
that's
Because that's all
1980.
you had. So you had to work with. There was no computer effects like that yet, you know. But still, regardless,
Yeah, it was good.
you got to still give them credit. It looked good still, and I still enjoy, except for the very end. Remember when it got the that
the
smug
same
doctor I
this
told you
guy.
about, and you see his face in the.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that didn't look too good. And
Well,
that
I
was
think
kind of
that was the
stupid,
ending. Did you ever
but
hear about the
That's
day
a
we
good.
shot the ending?
huh?
Did you ever hear about that? That was like a reshoot. That they reshot the ending. That originally it was going to feature a pilot alien,
No,
but
that
it
was
was
stupid.
No, I didn't
well,
know that.
supposedly. Let me explain this. Like supposedly the original ending was that Kate goes on the spaceship, and like she sees a lot of like these like dead alien organism like in these little pods that like kind of broke out.
Oh,
And then she sees like what she was looking at because in the theatrical cut you saw that big Tetris thing,
yeah.
that big UV thing. That was supposed to be like a dead pilot alien that like killed himself in there, but they had to like kill himself to like crash the spaceship down. And then what she discovers instead of Sanders, it's actually the Fink pilot that like took over the alien pilot thing and it like took over like his body, and then that was who she saw. And she was gonna
Oh,
fight like this like weird alien pilot, and that was supposed to tell you like
alien
the
pirate.
ending of that.
It was gonna have an eye patch.
No,
Arr, pirate.
The fog
Oh,
pirates.
pilot. Sorry, my bad. My pilot.
yeah, pilot like some like
Oh, okay,
It's one of
sorry.
the fog pirates.
and the backstory was that like the thing instead of being a spaceship of its own, it was actually a specimen of an alien spacecraft that they were experimenting on. But for some reason, it like broke out and it killed everyone on the ship, and that's why the alien pilot like he crashed the spaceship down to kill it, but except it didn't. For that was who he was attaching his body onto. It was the dead pilot
Oh,
alien.
okay.
He could, like rework the spaceship. For that was the original ending of it. But
Remember, the whole point of this species, of this particular organism, was to, I think, invade other planets and duplicate itself into the image of those of whatever native species was on that planet.
Yeah.
That's why when we saw and especially in the new movie, and I'm sorry, in the prequel, the when they had it laid out on the table, and I posted it a little while ago. I can't post it now for some reason. It looked like different things, different kind of creatures. It revealed itself to be of something, and that happened in the original one too. Like when you see the original film, you see these hands and these spider things and these things that and you're like, wow, what that's what the organisms from other planets looked like, and it was manifesting itself through this creature, through the thing.
Ralph,
Right.
I just remembered something. So
Tell me.
When they would replay it on television?
I never saw it on television like regular. Why?
Well, like Shocktober for Halloween, things like that.
Oh, okay. What about
I
it?
have to bring this up. So I was watching one time because I didn't own it yet.
Okay.
And during the commercials, what pops up? I gotta go back to the Quaker Oats commercial.
Why you keep bringing up Quaker Oats? Do you feel like having oatmeal or something?
Actually, I did. But anyway,
okay.
It was funny because I'm watching the thing, and then it cut to the commercial, and it's an oatmeal commercial.
What is it about? What's the connection again between the thing and Quaker Oats?
That's the guy who did the commercials. That's
Wait.
the same actor from Cocoon.
And he did the Quaker Oats commercials too?
Yeah, you just don't recognize him because he doesn't have his beard.
Ah, now I understand. I didn't understand what you meant.
Yeah,
I thought he just looked like the guy from Quaker Oats.
Everybody,
I didn't know it was the guy from Quaker Oats.
Yeah, everybody brings it up at a horror convention when he's there. I mean, he's dead now, but
my co-founder of the channel, Vic, he pretty much has every signature from all of the actors from the thing on his poster. That's what he does. He takes a poster, a movie poster, an official movie poster, not just some whatever. And he goes to the conventions and has them sign their names because it's going to be worth a lot of money one day. And I think he has almost, if not all, of the cast members of the original 1982 thing in there. So here's another thing I want to cover before we close up, because I think this has been a very interesting topic.
Also,
okay, go ahead.
Well, was also a box office bomb.
Which one?
The prequel. Yeah.
I haven't. I didn't check the numbers.
Yeah, it didn't do well,
but I enjoyed it. I liked it. So
Well, I think a problem was why I think the movie flopped is. I think, like you said earlier, a lot of people didn't know this was a prequel, and it was just titled The Thing. Because, they just thought about if we do this, then, it's brand recognition, people will recognize it more because it has enough of cult status. But, the problem was you have to establish if this a remake or is this a prequel. If you just call it The Thing and you don't even, put on the poster or even in the trailer before the events of the Carpenter'S film.
Yeah.
Well, I found out it was a prequel because I was reading Fangoria magazine.
Yeah, well, some people knew, but the normal audience, the normal people saw the trailer. No, they didn't know that. But that's why it was kind of confusing at first, and that's why the movie just didn't do very well. And if you were going to call it a prequel, I would have titled it The Thing Awakens. Before Star Wars Episode 7, I would have titled it The Thing Awakens as the title for the Thing prequel. Because I think had you had done that, and if you had marketed it better, as it was more of a prequel than a remake, what it was making it out to be, I think it would have done decent. I don't think it would have done great numbers, but I think it would have done decent at the box office. But since they didn't do that, the movie flopped, and it is what it is. But
maybe it did better in the sales on the Blu-ray or.
Well, I think interesting enough, years later, I think it was it was number one on Netflix back in 2021. It was actually a number one hit movie on Netflix. So they probably eventually made their money back. But
that's good.
Here's another interesting question. Do I ever think we'll ever get another Fig movie? Probably not. Because both movies.
And this leads me to my last.
Blumhouse, but that was in development, but nothing really came of it. For if we ever do get another Thing movie, it would likely be an Amazon or a Peacock streaming TV show did a theatrical movie, because I just think because both movies bomb, I don't think the brand isn't that marketable anymore. So that's just what I think.
You know what I think? I think they could make probably a TV series, and let me explain to you why.
Yeah,
Because remember, and I've always thought this in my head. I'm like, my God, they can do this if they really write it well. They can make this happen. Okay, they should. What if? Okay, what if? Remember the whole point of the thing in both films, the prequel and the 1982, is what if it got out and infected the world population? Let's make a TV show about that.
You imagine New York City?
Yeah, that's my point. Wouldn't think about that for a second.
Oh,
The writing has to be on point. Think about it. It would be the things.
Equal.
Plural. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what they would call it, but I can tell you that if they were to make a story where the thing got out, and all of a sudden you start hearing reports in the news in regular cities all over the world, people are attacking other people and they're turning into these creatures and whatever, and you see the television cameras like, oh my god, and you see the whatever, it turns up, and stuff comes out, and they're like, all that stuff, right? You know what I mean? The stuff we saw in these movies.
Oh, Rob, I know you're running.
Forget about it. Hold on, thought. Let me finish my thought.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm really excited. I'm gonna put it in the files. I swear, I'm gonna put it in the files. If they can create this, and then there's this group of people, of survivors, that are trying to find a way to stop it, which is pretty much impossible at this point. My thought would be, we need to get into a ship and get the hell out of this planet. I really, what else can you do? Okay, I'm done. Go ahead. What is it?
Well, no, I'm gonna say a little teaser trailer of Welcome to Derry came out yesterday.
It came out yesterday? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna check it out.
It's real short. It's really like nothing.
It's the prequel to It. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does it have the same actor?
Yeah, he's playing Pennywise again.
Oh, that's great. And he just finished coming out of Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And
which
the
was,
Crow.
huh?
And the Crow too, as well.
And the Crow, that's all right. Nosferatu.
Oh, bro, shit.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. Wait, Justin Sanchez, Peacock's The Things too. The Thing Awakens.
Yes, that's what the prequel should have been called. That would have been my title for it.
I think he's talking about a particular you see The Things. I think he's talking about what I was talking about. Like what would happen if it got out there and infected the whole world population. Imagine that. Mr. President, what's wrong with you?
Leave the Bronx alone. Start with Brooklyn first.
Yes. Start with Brooklyn. Absolutely. Those are good things.
See like a legacy sequel. Like let's say they brought back like Kurt Russell and Keith Davis and even like Mary Elizabeth Winston, and they all team up to like.
Are you telling me they survived that night all those years ago? That's what you're telling me.
I always had that in my mind. Like maybe they could.
You want them to survive?
Yeah, like a legacy sequel to where like Keith Davis and Kurt Russell survive, and they team up with like the Mary Elizabeth Winston character Kate Lloyd, and they.
Oh, you think she survived too?
I mean, she was in the van, so who knows?
Yeah, but that's all you know. She's sitting there in the van like this.
Yeah.
And then it fades away, and then that's it. You never see her again.
And then maybe they could have like killed off like the last remaining bits of the big aliens. And you could have had yourself maybe a trilogy. Like first John Carpenter's, then the prequel, and then the third movie to where it all connects together. So that's where I always thought they should do that, but do I think it's ever going to happen? No, probably not.
Probably not. But one thing I really got a kick out of the prequel was what Kate discovered regarding the thing. Remember when She realized that the shower, when she opened up the shower and she found the teeth fillings on the floor. I never thought it never hit me from the original 1982, but it makes total sense. The thing cannot absorb
It can't
inorganic replicate tissue, inorganic matter like tissue or metals. And so, like, if you had, that's why they were checking their fillings. Okay,
Yeah.
open your mouth. Let's see the fillings. And this guy didn't have. Oh, they were porcelain. Or stand over there. We're gonna watch you. And they had their flamethrowers. And we're gonna set you on fire if you try anything funny. You know. But I like that, especially at the end when this guy, the other guy, Joel Edgerton, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in the Star Wars movies. He's been in a lot of stuff. The other guy, the guy that was trying to help Kate.
Yeah.
That you thought he was okay too, and then when they were getting in the little truck, the earring, he was wearing an earring throughout the whole movie. All of a sudden, he didn't have it.
Yeah.
And that's when she noticed. She noticed it. And then she came out with the flamethrower and she said to him, "You know how I knew you weren't, you were human? Your earring." And he went like this, and she went, "Your other ear." Oops! Caught him. Made him a crispy critter. That was the end of it, and that's when she was all alone in the vehicle, like that. Great movie. I loved how that ended. I was like, that was good.
No, and also it ends perfectly where like you see the helicopter coming down, and then
right, it bleeds right into John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
The dog looked a little different, but you gotta like you can't go tit for tat. I mean, it's a dog. What are you gonna do?
And,
but it was supposed to be the same dog.
Yeah, and then the helicopter gets out, and then the guys all like confused, like, wait, what's going on here? And then you see you hear that beautiful Elmo Connie score in the background.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
You see like Wallace comes out that he's actually survived, and he's got the shot, he's got the sniper
gun
ready, and like then you start to realize, oh, so that was why he was shooting at the dog.
Yeah,
that's what I'll reach into,
and it goes right into, like, you can watch the prequel and then watch John Carpenter's The Thing, and it would be seamless.
Yeah,
there wouldn't be any hiccups in that at all. It would work.
Yeah.
I was like, damn,
with the Carpenter film, despite
absolutely.
the CGI element to it, but yeah, I think it's pretty good.
It was very good. All right, guys. I
would like to see the original cut though. With all the
I'm sure they have that. I'm sure they have that somewhere. Maybe they'll release it one day. If they haven't done so.
It will Blu-ray. That's the only thing I could see it possibly.
Absolutely.
Because it's probably in some vault somewhere in Universal.
Well, guys, and everybody out there watching, I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been an incredible, good discussion about The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, the 2011 The Thing, and even we talked about The Thing from Another World and all the subnotes and titles that came with it. And I'd like to thank Tony for co-hosting with me, and I'd like to thank Frank for joining me. I had other friends that were going to join me today, but I don't know what happened to them.
They were replicated.
No, they became The Thing. Anyway, no. But I'm sure, I'm sure something came up. I had a couple other friends that told me they were going to join me. Maybe, next time. Don't worry. This ain't the last live stream I'm going to do. I'm continuing with my movie reviews of the movies I watch. I'm going to continue to do retro reviews. I did one on Carrie. I don't know if you guys saw that one. I'm going to continue to I'm going to do more retro reviews this year because I think I've been enjoying everything. Thank you, Baron Von. Have a good night, brother. Good to see you. We got to do a special Exorcist live stream because I would, and you will be my guest. So stay tuned. I'm going to hold you. I want you to be a guest for that.
you'll get to see who Dick Smith is, roughly.
Yeah, I guess I gotta keep doing. I gotta do more, research so I can put it in the files. Put in files. So listen, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and please feel free to join in future conversations and tap on that bell for future notifications for future Horror and Coffee content. This is Horror and Coffee. We talk horror. We talk movies, TV shows. We talk about other things like Star Wars. I have my lightsabers over here. I have my coffee over here.
In a good place right now, so yeah.
And Justin, thank you, Justin, thank you, Eli or Ellie. I think it's Ellie. And there's my beautiful queen saying good night. Of course, I'm going to be calling her after this because I love to talk to her. She's amazing. Helping me out with my new Patreon page. I have ordered. I don't know if you heard this yet, Frank, but I've ordered some coffee cups, and I'm going to be delivering these. I'm going to be shipping these out myself. And if those
with me with that,
yeah, I'm gonna. You can't get something done right. You got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the angle I'm going. So what I'm doing is we're gonna, for those of you who are interested, you can IM me on Instagram and say, hey, I want a coffee cup, and then I'll hook you up. Now, if you want a coffee cup, you can reach me on my Horror Coffee Instagram page. Okay. The links are up above, and I'll put them down below as well after this live stream gets posted. Another thing, if you are interested in becoming a Patreon for the channel, I'm planning on creating a community list of Patreons so that I can always give you guys a great shout out here on the channel, in my live streams, and in my reviews. Put your names up in lights so everybody can see what's going on. See who likes horror and coffee, who likes their horror, who likes their coffee.
No decaf.
All right? Huh?
No decaf people.
No decaf people. No, I'm kidding. No, decaf people are welcome. I don't discriminate. But so we got that going on. It's $5. Well, the information, I put it right here, actually. It's on the scroll. If you see it, there it is. Patreon.com/horror coughs. Coughs. It's just all you have to do is go to that website, and it will show you how to join and become a Patreon. And any donate, if you do join, that would really help the channel. That would be really great, because I want to do more things for this channel. I want to, get better lighting, better cameras, better this, better, I just want to like up the game here to make horror and coffee more of what it has always been and what it's meant to be. I love this channel. I love what I do here, and I appreciate the support you guys, you Tony, you Frank, and all you guys on the chat do for backing me up to this. So with that, I really appreciate it. And until next time, I thank you guys. And this is over and out, Tony. Thank you. Thank you for your input. I'm glad I did this with you. Proud of you, bro. Frank, till next time. Bye, Mari.
She's in the kitchen.
Okay, tell her I said goodbye.
All right.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a good night. God bless you. Later.